tell you, first thing, it's I'll simply try to define it. The name itself, like if I'm talking about Christianity, so I'll say the root word is Christ, Jesus Christ. From the followers of Jesus Christ are those. I might say that, but if you're asking me about Islam, then I'll tell you it's the word itself has only two parts of it: total submission to one and only God. So it's the oneness of the God. That's the main thing. And then the other thing is peace. So the root word is salam, because you have some background in Arabic. Salam means peace, and Islam is the root word for it comes from there. And the other thing is Islam, when total submission. These are so it's a religion that's peaceful, and the core of it is total submission to one entity that has the power over everything, and it's one. That's the main thing that Muslims would believe in, that Allah is one. That's the starting point. Everything after that is just we all have differences in looking at it. But the first thing is that it's very peaceful. It's a religion that encourages you actually to get into relationships with other peoples. There is a verse in Quran that says that Allah have created us. We believe that He is the one who created us. One of the reasons was, and one of the functions for us on this earth is to get to know each other peoples, and to interact with them, and to know all of us at the end of the day that there is no one nation or one ethnicity that's better than the other. And according to Him, the best of you is whoever fears God more, or glorifies Him more. So it's very inherent in the whole belief that we are all equal. We believe. If you don't believe in that, then you're not truly a Muslim. If you have any doubt that there is one ethnicity that's better than the others, then you're not a true believer. So these are all things that are not highlighted when there is talk about Islam, sadly, for what's going on. But these are the core values of Islam as a religion. So it encourages you to know the other, to live peacefully with the other, the peaceful coexistence between all other religions. We can just live. We portray, we give present ourselves as Muslims, but we can live with other religions. We can show what we believe in. Those who like it, and the only reason why they would want to join if they're impressed with our attitudes, or not with anything else. If they are impressed and they want to join, then welcome. If not, welcome too.
I came here in 1978. I came from Jerusalem, and when I came here, I was going to my main concern that to finish school, to go to college, educate myself, and return. And when I came here, it's find the life. It's very there's lots of opportunities, and the life is different than our countries. There's a lot of good qualities here. The people, when they can work, they can produce. There's a lot of productivity here, and there's the opportunities here. It's the land of opportunity. We enjoy it. We like it a lot. We live in comfortable here, and we became part of the system. When you live here for a long time, you should be part of the system. You pay your dues, you do the right things, and nothing is impossible. We achieve our goals, and we got married in 1985, me and my wife. We have 3 children, and we enjoy being here. The life is good here.
You see here and there the differences and what ultimately it's supposed to be, and any system there's up until now, there's no perfect system, political system that has been created by man, but at the same time uh, what's happening here is the closest to perfection that you will find on earth, which is good, and it's protected by the people themselves, by many of the laws. And but my perception of how it is definitely affected by my past experiences and where I come from originally, and what's happening in my country. And you see the differences, you see the what benefits the freedom can give you, like just the simple open talk and discussions that you cannot have anymore back in all these countries, gives you a very a real appreciation of what we have here. Like some of the basic discussions you cannot have there without being just looking over your shoulders. Is this group okay, so that I can really talk freely or not? And that's the reality of it. That's the reality in many of the African countries, Sudan being one of them.
The situation in Palestine started getting really bad after 1987 for the first Intifada. I was in college, Birzeit University. They closed colleges, they closed schools. We were unable to transport to the university and continue our school. Unfortunately, a lot of killings, a lot of protests and stuff. They arrested my brother several times, and then my parents decided to send him right away. He was the one brother that was left there. So he moved in 1988, probably during that year, because it was honestly the worst year we had been through. And after 1988, after he moved back here and started, working and get stuff together, because financially the situation back home was really bad, because nobody could work. The only thing that my father could live off was just the once a year when we collect the olives and sell the oil, and that's it. So we had to wait till my brother financially, settled down here, and then we all moved back here. Yes. So we moved here. I came. My brother was already in Columbus, of course. I had another sister in Virginia. She lived in Virginia, but I felt Columbus was really quiet and small city, and easy to to do stuff, to go around. So I decided just to stay in Columbus along with where my brother and my parents were.
I came here in November 27, 1978, and I arrived in Chicago with $42 in my pocket. I didn't even know where to go. I know I have relatives in Ohio here, and luckily a person helped me in the airport. I showed him the address, and he put me in the plane and came to Ohio, which my sister and her husband, they were here. And it was hard for me at the beginning because I had to go to school, and they helped me actually the first quarter. They paid $600 for me to go to school. And at that time, for me, $600 is too much money for me. I had only $42, and what am I going to do? Then I ended up start going to college and start working. My first job was working at the valet parking at Sheraton Hotel. I was getting $1.78 an hour. And after that, I started looking for other things to do. And it happened, I was doing 3 jobs in the same time. Working salesman, work at the Sheraton, work in the kitchen. And I used to get sleep only maybe 3 or 4 hours sleep. Some weeks, I didn't get much sleep. I wanted to accomplish myself. I wanted to be, when I go back to my country, my family, I wanted to be proud of me, my mom and dad especially, because they were opposing me to come here. And as I said before, I had a dream, I want to come to America. So I established myself, I worked very hard, and I met the wife in 1985. She was going to school. She spent about 7 years back and forth between here and Egypt, while I was working here. And when she came back, we felt like we were married again, because it was kind of like, we were married, but she was at a distance. And we have been working since. We established ourselves, alhamdulillah. That's how we started. It was a very difficult beginning, very, very difficult beginning. The first thing was the language was a big problem for me. And to know your way around was a little bit obstacle. To dream, my dream was to have a car and one day I'll have a house. That was my dream. And then, alhamdulillah, we achieved all our goals. Yeah. So there is nothing impossible. Everything is very possible. If you put your mind to it, you'll achieve your goals. You'll get there. Yeah.
Join me in thinking that the biggest thing is the Sudanese personality, which is a very unique and peculiar type of combination in its cultural background, cultural identity, and actually the roots of that personality. A very generous person in particular, very open. We like guests, and we like to have guests a lot. And that's part of our inherent culture. Like, to be Sudanese means that you love to have guests and to have foreigners and to interact with other cultures. That's, for some reason, it's not just part of daily life. It's part of your culture. That's how you should act. Otherwise, everyone will be what's wrong with them. So that's and the real combination and interaction between two cultures in a very nice way, which is the very African part of it, and on the other side, the very Arab part of the Sudanese personality. These two sides mix in a very unique way in the Sudanese personality, and because we have Christians in Sudan, but the wide majority is Muslims. So the Arab part of the culture is very much affected and influenced by the Islamic culture as a religion. So all that have mixed, and the main reason is that Sudan is in Africa, very African country, but there was large migration of Arab tribes long ago who settled there, and then there was the mixture. So the ending result is this very fascinating combination of cultures, and you'd find that if you meet an average Sudanese person, he relates very much to his African roots, and at the same time his main language is Arabic, and he speaks Arabic and relates to the culture, the not only the religion is of course something different, but relates to the arts, the poetry, the just all sorts of arts that are related to the Arab world. So we're part of those. And sometimes we think about our Arab part as just the language. We speak the Arabic language, but we're Africans.
And then question a similar vein then, if you had to, if someone, if I came up to you and I said, what would, and I know nothing about Islam, what would you want me to know about Islam?
I'll tell you, first thing, it's
It is because I do see a lot of people. It's really tough on them to keep their Muslim identity or Arabic tradition along with the American life. But I think it's not hard. If you try and you keep trying, you can do it. You can do it. Because if you move to live in Jordan, or maybe you tried it, and I think you had a chance to keep your American style or your American life, but on the other hand, you got involved with life there. So same thing here. It doesn't mean like my kids will eat American food. That doesn't mean, I'm not gonna let them try American food or eat American food. They will. We go to American restaurants. We go to Italian restaurants. But the main thing they know, okay, we're Arabs. We're Muslims. That's our culture. That's the stuff that we do. That's the stuff we eat, and all this stuff. So this way they keep, they're proud. Alhamdulillah, they're proud to be Muslims. They're not shy to say we're Muslims, Americans, because nobody will recognize my daughter as a Muslim because she's not wearing the hijab yet. But she's proud to say in school and tell her friends, I'm Muslim. Because she's been taught and she was raised to be proud of her identity. Even though she's American. We're proud to be American. We're proud to be, holding the American passport. We live here. We do our living. We cannot deny that. It's a fact. If we didn't live here, God knows how we established life. We established business. We're living a good life. So we do appreciate that. But on the other hand, we do appreciate our religion and our culture. So like all her friends knows she's Muslim. She tells them like when it's lunch, okay, if it's like pizza, pork, okay, I don't eat that. I teach my kids I taught them since they were in KG. I taught them the language. I'm teaching them the religion. I'm teaching them the holy book. I'm still making all our traditional food. I hardly make American food. We always eat, Arabic, Palestinian food. So we pray 5 times a day. What else? Yeah, everything that we do is based on our culture and the stuff that I was raised of. Same thing. I'm teaching my kids.
Well, it's something that you instill in them at a very young age, and that's what I've been doing. And so it's something that you can't just keep talking about it. It's not something that you tell them. You have to be proud of that you're Sudanese. That sentence does not mean anything. It's just a sentence, empty words. But you have to relate it to something that they love. I take them to visits there whenever I can, and they still visit. We have extended family back in Sudan. They enjoy it, and then you expose them to the real culture there. They see their roots. They see their uncles, their aunts, their grandpa, and all those people, and they get to talk to them. They get to have a relationship with them. And so this way, the way I think about it is that I see them here, that they're enriched. They have something more than others, rather than being different than others. So if you, and that's my personal way of viewing it. If you have them grow up thinking that they're a little bit blessed with having something more, so they appreciate it, because I tell them, like, most of their neighbors, when they visit their grandpa, it's just in another state here or something, but you have to go 14 hours across the Atlantic and see how far and how deep you have roots in Africa. And so you make it a little bit exciting for them, and it does. They do. Like, I don't touch wood, as they say, alhamdulillah, in Al-Arabi. I haven't encountered up until now any kind of struggle for them. I see them proud of their identity and able to project it or present it proudly always, and just there's no conflict, as I see it, between that and their American identity, because it's it's what you want it to be. And some other people, some people have different views. You take the best from where you're living. I can take the best. There are some practices and something in our culture in Sudan that I do not like at all. So I leave those. And there are some practices and some things in the American culture that I do not like, and I leave those. So they have the best of both worlds, and they can just live with both in a very equilibrium status.
We had a protester. She was from Lancaster. Do you remember Huneda? She was from Lancaster, and she was one of those, like, excuse my language, but she was so ignorant. She hated us so bad, and she stood for about like 3 hours holding that sign. You remember, in front of the masjid, and she was like, everybody will pass by her, she will cuss him. She was so bad. We do have an American Muslim lady, and she's very active with the Muslim community, and she wears the hijab too. So what she did, she approached that lady, and the first thing she told her, she said, "Can I have a hug? Can I give you a hug?" That lady gave her that like weird look. Well, what are you talking about? I'm cussing you and I'm cussing your people, and you want me to give you a hug? So that lady was like, she hesitated for a minute, and then she hugged her and she said, "May I welcome you to our center? Why don't you come in for a cup of coffee and some treat?" And she was like, "No, I'm not." And then she finally got in. She sat down for about 2 more hours, and she had all kind of questions to us there. She was asking about Muslim people, about Islam, about Arab, and all those kind of questions. She ended up leaving the mosque in tears. She apologized to everybody, and she said, "I am so sorry, and I'm so sorry for all my behavior, and I did not know how kind and peaceful you are." And that was something that we were so proud of, because if we left her there standing and did not approach her, she could have probably had more people come in, and at what point, when all those problems started, we had people come and have signs saying, "You are our neighbors, we are with you." And that was really heartwarming. When all those things started and they started targeting Islamic centers and stuff, they stood around the NICC holding those signs, and that was something big to us. We did appreciate that. We did love those people because we lived with them. We lived. I will stand up for my family, for my beliefs, and I will talk back to them in a nice way. I'm not going to be rude. If they're rude to me, I'm not going to be rude to me. Because that's not my religion. Even my religion, even my holy book tells me if somebody is being bad or misbehaved to you, you have to treat him with dignity and respect. So I will approach him. I'll explain to him that, I did not do anything bad to you, and here you go. But if he's one of the people that you cannot even talk to him, I'll probably maybe call 911 for him, but I know that they're not going to do anything. But that's what I will do. I will stand up for my family. I'll protect myself, my family, in any way I can.
Palestine, it's in the heart. We never forget our countries. Our country is great. We're part of it. We feel fortunate to have 2 countries. We claim this our country, and this also is our country. And we keep in touch with the families every year. We go back home. We visit the family members. I take the wife and the kids almost every year, or sometimes 2 years. And so we keep in touch. We're very close to our families back home. And sometimes I travel twice a year there. And so we'll keep our kids back and forth so they can always maintain the relationship with the motherland, with our countries. And they continue to keep our tradition. We have a lot of good values which is not founded in other societies. So we have lots of good values. We try to incorporate our good values to what we learn from here. We learn a lot from here to come up with one good value. So we're always trying to be, good people.
Yeah, like as I said previously, I would love for you guys to do more research. Check, get on YouTube, on Facebook, get connected with the Middle Eastern region and see exactly what's going on. And hear and see what's going on from both sides. You know what I mean? Because there is like a big community of Israeli people who are, real Jewish, and they don't like the killing and all this stuff. Because my neighbor's mom, her mom is Jewish. And she specifically told me, she said, I am Jewish and I believe in Moses, but I don't believe in killing. I don't believe in somebody coming and take my land or my home or my, So I would love for American people to be more open and educate themselves more. Because like for us, when we come here, we try to learn everything, about American life, about culture, about schools, about everything. And I'm one of the people that I like to get involved in everything. Like get involved with more Arab people, more Muslim people. We do have a lot of Christian people that live in Palestine. And we lived all our lives with, especially like in Ramallah or Bethlehem, we lived like family. We're so close. Like there is no difference between me and my Christian neighbor. We go to them for their holidays, for their feasts. They go to us. We had a Christian neighbor that they used to fast with us in Ramallah. I swear they used to fast with us in Ramadan. Or even if they're not fasting, they will never eat or drink in front of us. When they come to visit us, they'll be like, oh, we're fasting like you guys. They will celebrate our holiday. They will make cookies and stuff for our holiday like it's like their holiday. Same thing with us. When it's like a Christmas, we'll go to them, we'll bake them cookies. And I do the same thing with my neighbors too. Like if it's Christmas, I'll make something and I'll send it to them. I'll send them gifts. And they'll do the same thing on my holiday. They'll come, they bring me cookies, they bring me flour or something to congratulate us for our holiday. So I try to keep in contact with them and let them know, here we are. That's how Muslims are.